The University of Central Missouri women's bowling team has high expectations for how the Jennies will finish out the 2014-2015 season this spring. That's nothing new when your program has a rich history of success, but there may be a little bit more weight on the Jennies' shoulders this year because UCM is the host for the NCAA Bowling Championships in April. There are no divisions in collegiate women's bowling. Everyone is on the same level, and that's how the Jennies like it.
No one would ever know that we're Division II against Division I schools. It's not like separated or anything like that, which is something that I like a lot because we're all at the same level. It doesn't make anybody better than each other if you're Division I, II, or III.
I think we're all pretty equal. I think everybody can beat everybody on a given day. Like Nebraska is very good, and I know Arkansas State and FDU because they're all ahead of us, but we are all very equal and we can all beat each other on any day.
The bowling season is kind of split in half for UCM. The team went to 5 events in the fall, traveling all over the U.S., from Kansas to Ohio, Indiana, Nebraska, and to Texas. Central Missouri never finished outside the top 10 as a team. There were also plenty of individual top 10 finishes for the Jennies.
We always go into the start of a season with some unknowns. We didn't have a large number of players as far as the turnover process, but we did have some key players that we lost for last year's group. So some new leaders, certainly some new players, and players have really surprised me in regards to how well they've jumped out and played overall.
This season, head coach Ron Holmes relies on his lone senior Gabby Mayfield to be a leader on and off the lanes. Junior Mary Wells is a name you'll consistently find on all tournament teams, and Wells has already been picked as an at-large selection to Junior Team USA. There's definitely talent on the Jennies bowling squad, and one of the strongest points of UCM's game in the fall was team communication.
If somebody saw something on the lane that somebody else didn't, they would come back and be like, hey, I threw a really good shot, this happened, let's talk about it before you throw your shot so we don't make the same mistake that I did.
Most of our play is based on Baker, which is everybody bowls one game together, 2 frames each. So we have to work together to be able to do better in those, because those are what matter most, not the individual games. So communication's a huge thing between all of us and helping each other through lane play and stuff like that.
That overall element of communication going quite well this year. Sometimes, especially with a newer player or a newer group, it takes a little bit of time to get used to what people like and don't like and how they want to be conversed to. So I think they've done a real nice job with those different parts of the communication element, and some of that too may just be the way we're putting the lineup together. We're trying to be very aware of that and try to make sure at the beginning of the year, instead of trying to mess with it or experiment, we put the best communicators in certain key spots, and that I think has helped us to this point.
Coach Holmes says the Jennies have also found some help on the lanes this season in some of the youngest members on the team.
Haley Richard and Jordan Richard are 2 primary freshmen that we knew would step in and help us right away, and they have. They have a large amount of experience before they got here and a lot of high-level elite play experience too on the individual side. We thought that they could play at this level, but there's also some stuff too that I think they're learning as they're going along, especially some of the differences between the college team game and the high school game that they played. They were very successful even at the high school level, but there's still a little bit of a difference with some of that.
High school, we just bowled, it was like a meet, we bowled one team, just one team only, and we'd only bowl like 2 Baker games and 2 regular games, and total points you win. But college, we bowl all these other teams. I mean, we have 3 days of it. It's not just like, oh, go bowl for 2 hours, you have 3 days. So you have like your Baker games, you have your regular games, and then you have your match play. And it's a lot different because the Sunday you do match play and the pressure's on. And you have to be in the top 4 to win. So the pressure's on all weekend long. And it's just a lot different than high school. You're just like, you just go out there, try and bowl the best game you can, and here it's like you have to do well.
With 6 events in the spring leading up to the NCAA championships, there are plenty of good things to carry over from the first half of the season to help ensure a successful run in the second half.
The group is very good in regards to shooting spares. That's always a big key for us, especially in our competition format that's called the Baker format, where everyone shares the same amount of responsibility within a game. They're very open to listening to new ideas, and that's also a critical thing, especially when someone's not doing very well. So I think the group is meshing quite well together. I think the key part is going to be trying to make sure that we have everyone on a similar path whenever it comes to those last days of competition. We can do real well during the regular rounds, but if you don't have all 5 players at least working off of each other, working together, just one person can trip that up, and then that can be the difference between a win of a match or a win of an event as compared to not finishing at the top.
The spring is going to be the time for Jennies Bowling to really go all out because there are no automatic qualifiers to the NCAA Bowling Championships. UCM is ranked 4th in the National Tenpin Coaches Association poll and 1st in the coaches poll for normal Division II and Division III schools, but the NCAA decides who makes the postseason based on criteria like win-loss record and strength of schedule, among other things.
Spring is more the crunch time. Yeah, we're doing great this season, and we're kind of just gliding along, but we want to make it to the postseason. Every team has to step it up.
The Jennies host the Mid-America Individual Championships in Warrensburg on February 26th and the UCM Mid-America Invitational in Kansas City, February 27th through March 1st. For UCMathletics.com, I'm Katie Smith.